Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them and taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the war update. Okay, the daily update. All right, this is Micah 4 and 12, start at 11. Now, also, many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. Okay? All right? The Most High is gathering them. All right, let's look. Let's look at the gathering. Salakia right there. Let's look at Deep Journal real quick. Let's see. I saw somebody else using Deep Journal. I forgot who it was. Okay, so 12 hours ago, breaking massive explosions. I think saw that yesterday. Breaking news, 6 Armenian soldiers captured by Azerbaijan. Armenia called Russia for attack. So this thing, hey, what are these countries? Armenia, Azerbaijan. These nations are being gathered. Okay? Breaking Netanyahu. War soon. U.S. delayed move in Israel. U.S. afraid of Russia and China. All right? All right, let's look at the secret files over here. Let's see what's new over here. Okay. One day, okay, this is the newest one. It says 662-ton Russian vessel collides with Japanese. So this is, Russian and Japanese ship collision. That don't sound right. First of all, these are enemies. Japan, if I'm not mistaken, is on the side of the Babylon the Great and Israel at this time. Okay? That was the result of the Second World War. We subdued Japan and made them basically our bitch. We got, relations with them. Let's watch this.
Introducing Dice.
Salakia. All right, this is Secret Files 333, May 26, which was yesterday, I believe. Yes, it was. 662-ton Russian vessel collides with Japanese fishing boat. 3 day. Okay, so. Well, what happened to the Russian
662-ton Russian vessel collides with Japanese fishing boat. 3 dead, vessel seized. At least 3 Japanese fishermen were killed after their boat collided with a Russian vessel in the Sea of Okhotsk on Wednesday. The Sea of Okhotsk is located between Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula on the east, the Kuril Islands on the southeast, Japan's island of Hokkaido.
Boats don't run into each other. Not on the open sea. Okay? They run them into each other. Okay? That's different. They don't just float into each other on accident.
On the south. The incident happened about 23 kilometers, 14.3 miles, northeast of Mombetsu Port in Japan's northeastern Hokkaido Prefecture, the country's public broadcaster NHK reported. 8 people were on board their 9.7-ton boat, the Hachi Hakumaru, which collided with the 662-ton Russian ship, Amur. The boat subsequently capsized. The Japan Coast Guard said 3 of them were pronounced dead as they had no vital signs when they were returned to Mombetsu Port. The deceased include Daihachi Hakumaru's chief engineer, 64, and 2 sailors aged 37 and 39. The report added that another sailor suffered minor injuries. Japanese crew were fishing for crabs in the sea when the Russian vessel hit the side of their boat. The Amur, with 23 crew members on board, had left the far eastern Russian province of Sakhalin on Tuesday, transporting crabs to Mombetsu port. Quoting a Russian border guard in Sakhalin, the NHK reported that the vessels apparently collided because of low visibility due to fog. Ever since the end of World War II, Japan and Russia could not sign a peace treaty mainly due to a dispute over the sovereignty of four Russian-held islands, Kunashiri, Etorofu, Habamai, and Shikoten, off Japan's Hokkaido province.
So what they're saying is they have no guidance systems or no warning devices that a vessel is close in low visibility. I don't know about that. Sounds fishy. Let's look at some of the. There's only one comment. All right. Just sounds fishy. Anyway, hey, we're looking for wartime situations here. What does Hecklebeck got to say? "20 hours ago, Hezbollah leader threatens Israel with regional war." Okay, well, we know about that. All right, let's go back to Deep Journal here. Let's take a look at this. Because this thing is moving. The Most High is gathering the troops, and it's not going to slow down. We're just going to look at it every day, see how it's moving.
Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journal channel. By subscribing to our channel before moving on to our video, you can be instantly informed about the latest news and comments. Israel and the U.S. administration are worried about the increasing activities of China, Russia, and Iran in the Middle East, taking advantage of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. President Joe Biden, who did not act for a ceasefire until the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is over, adopts a humanist attitude and is now extending a helping hand to Palestine. Considering the movements of Russia, China, and Iran in the Middle East, this attitude of the USA is not sincere at all. He is clearly trying to ease tensions in the region with a $735 million arms deal to gain time for the Israeli army to restructure and prepare for a possible conflict. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said, "There will be no peace until the Palestinians recognize Israel as a Jewish state." It is unlikely that the Palestinians will accept Netanyahu's request. This situation heralds that a new war will break out in the near future. Another issue is that Russia, China, and Iran are seriously afraid of the military activities of Russia, China, and Iran, which are increasing against the US's dominance in Syria and Iraq. The U.S. administration is taking these steps for Israel and Palestine because it is worried about this situation. But shouldn't he do this before the conflict, strengthening his dominance in the region? Again, a late move. Now let's examine the U.S. talks with Israel and Palestine on Tuesday and its activities in the region. Mr. Blinken met with Israeli officials on Tuesday, promising Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that Washington would replenish Iron Dome interceptors and discuss Israel's security needs. The United States will rally support.
Replenish Iron Dome. It sounds like that's what the ceasefire is about. It's about building back up, your resources, getting supplies, and follow on echelon. Anyway, let's read a couple. He came for an arms deal to make peace. It says Ukraine can request U.S. Congress on sanctions against Russia and Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline project. The U.S. should stand with Israel and level the whole damn Middle East. This shit has been going on way too long. They better do it soon before terror gets too strong. The Third World War starts here with Israel versus Hamas. Now, somebody knows what's going on. Very soon, Armenia will jump into it. That's the Most High gathering the troops. And 56 verses others will be unavoidable. The only question is where Russia stands. We know where Russia stands. Russia stands against Babylon the Great. I'm gonna do a video on that song that they were singing about the submarine, the nuclear-powered submarine, because that's about to come into effect now. Mike Jones said God is in control. Well, hey, you're right, Mike Jones. The Most High is in control. Israel has a right to defend themselves no matter what you think. So does Hamas. So does the Palestinians. Hamas should be blamed for firing rockets to Israel indiscriminately. No blame should be made against any other unless we blame the Hamas who started the war. They reap as they sow. This is wrong because Hamas didn't start it. Yaqub was out stealing people's land, stealing the Palestinians' houses and land, because if he don't do it, then somebody else will. That's what started this. Okay? It's been going on way before 47 too. They're still doing it. So this is bullshit. All right? We know why it's going on, because the thief cometh not but to kill and to steal, and he can't stop. You done stole everything, but you still want more. All right? And now it's time for you to be put down like an old dog. All right, so anyway, we'll get a couple of scriptures and go ahead and close that. Because really it's just about the gathering. All right? Let's get Jeremiah. Damn. Let's see what I got here. This is Jeremiah 25 and 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. So the Most High is gathering them. Okay? It's the great gathering. All right, so let's get one more. Zephaniah. Let's get Zephaniah 3. I did Mark. Hold on. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the break. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So we're just watching the gathering. We got to sit back and watch this movie. Get your popcorn, all right? With that, I hope that the elect were edified and brought up to date, all right? Just some skirmishes going on, but the gathering is going down, all right? With that, we're going to say shalom.